Have you ever been in a crowded room and still felt invisible? Like no one notices how hard you're trying. No one asks what you're fighting for. And worst of all, you start wondering if maybe, Peria, you're just not good enough to be seen. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody wakes up every morning just to push you to be your best. And the harsh truth is, most people don't care whether you succeed or fail. It stings, doesn't it? But here's the good news. That's your greatest advantage. Because the moment you stop waiting for help, stop seeking permission, and take full responsibility for your life, that's the moment everything changes. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they wait. Wait for the right time. Wait for someone to believe in them. Wait for life to get easier. But life doesn't wait. It moves on, with or without you. So you've got two choices. Keep waiting or start working. If you're ready to take control, break free from waiting and become the strongest version of yourself. Drop a 9 in the comments and hit that subscribe button right now. Because I'm about to show you how to build the mindset and discipline that turns silent effort into unstoppable success. Own your challenges. That's number 1. People won't do it. You are not alone in your challenges. That is the unfortunate truth. No one will give any thought to your issues when they first open their eyes in the morning. No one will step in to defend you when you need it most. Others may feel compassion. They might provide words of support. But the reality is that you're the one who needs to put in the effort. The moment you realize this to be true is the moment you take command of your life. Waiting for someone to save them is something that far too many individuals do. They put the blame on other factors, such as their background and previous mistakes. Success would be easy if only they had more resources, more contacts, or fewer obstacles, they convince themselves. That isn't how life works, however. Nobody gets what they want. Well-deserved. Furthermore, those who succeed seldom have it easy. It is those who take responsibility of their difficulties and use them as motivation. Life takes a very different turn once you stop assuming it will be fair. You quit trying to find easier ways out. You muster up the courage to quit moping around. You must abandon the hope that things will just become better. Rather, you should begin working. Instead of trying to escape problems, you begin to prepare yourself to face them head-on. Instead of viewing setbacks as excuses to give up, you begin to see them as chances to learn and develop. Most individuals never even get to this stage, to tell you the truth. They fail to go on because they keep coming up with reasons not to. They want for an ally who can comprehend their suffering. In the meanwhile, they hold out hope that someone will come along and save them. Nothing will happen, however, and the passage of time continues even while they wait. No one ever got ahead in life because they were given a silver spoon. They were the ones who, despite how cruel life seemed, chose to accept all responsibility. Consider the persons in your life who are the strongest and most accomplished. Do you believe they got there by griping, by pointing fingers, by waiting for the right time? No. They overcame their obstacles by dealing with them directly. They turned adversity into inspiration rather than an excuse. They chose to think on what they could create rather than what they lacked. Yes, it is precisely the right thing for you to do. Quit pointing fingers. Get moving. Give up trying to find a savior. You are the only one who has any right to your successes and failures. There is no other way to go except through. Leaving your comfort zone is the only way to really progress. That task cannot be handled by anybody else. Is that what it will be? Do you intend to persist in anticipating a life that is less challenging? Will you, on the other hand, get stronger? Continuing to make excuses is not going to cut it. Or are you planning to do something? It is up to you to decide. Keep this in mind, however. All of your justifications will go unheard. No one is going to show up and help you out. It is up to you to decide how you want your life to be changed. When you own your current situation and your future goals, you will begin to make changes. Take full responsibility of the challenges you face. Claim control of your destiny. Do something now. The second one, ditch the need to be validated. Establish unwavering confidence. Seeking affirmation could consume a person's life. In the hopes that someone would notice their potential and provide them permission to flourish, they seek validation from others around them, whether it be friends, family, co-workers, or even strangers. But let me tell you the reality. No one's viewpoint can alter the truth of your situation. The approval of others will not motivate you to strive harder. Plus, you won't get anything done if you waste time trying to prove yourself wrong. Those who reach the pinnacle of their profession didn't sit around hoping for approval from others. Their confidence shone through even when others doubted them. They continued on in solitude, unassisted by anybody save their unwavering faith in their mission. You can never really motivate yourself if you let other people do it for you. You will lose motivation the second that others stop encouraging you. Because the path to success is often lonely, that is an unsafe position to be in. At times, you may feel that no one is on your side, that your goals are ridiculous, and that not even your closest allies really get your vision. Stay put indefinitely if you can't go on without their consent. Consider it. How many aspirations have perished due to the fear of judgment from others? I wonder how many good ideas were stifled because their progenitors were too afraid of criticism. One of the greatest derailers of potential is the fear of rejection. However, you must comprehend this. Never assume that someone cares about you more than they really do. They're preoccupied with their own lives, fears, and problems to pay any attention to you. What difference does it make even if they pass judgment? Completely null. You can't pay for their views. The late hours, sacrifices, and late nights aren't worth their approbation. Therefore, there's no need in stressing out about them. Get beyond worrying about what other people think if you want to become unstoppable. You must cultivate an attitude of unwavering self-confidence, where your faith in yourself is so profound that not even the naysayers can derail you. It all begins with shifting your point of view. How about we switch up the question? What will people think if I fail? You should start by wondering, what if I never give it a go? You should validate your aspirations by doing them, not by waiting for other people to do it for you. Allow your outcomes to speak for themselves. The world's most accomplished individuals never sought approval to achieve greatness. Being was all they chose to do. They proceeded without seeking approval from others. Their own was born. And it is the thing that you must accomplish. Get over waiting for other people to validate your ambitions. Quit procrastinating until everything is just right. Until you make your idea a reality, no one will comprehend it. So stop assuming that they will. Embracing the fact that you are often misunderstood is a great self-care practice. The reasons you put in so much effort, forego solace, and become fixated on your goal may be difficult for others to comprehend. It's acceptable. They are not supposed to comprehend. Carry out the task at hand. Arguing, explaining, or attempting to persuade others to believe in you isn't the greatest way to get even. Success comes from showing them how they're mistaken. And you do it by doing something. On a daily basis, you appear. Work is best done while no one is looking. Nothing you publish will mention it. You aren't looking for approval of it. You must act. You stop caring what other people say since you're too busy focusing on your own development. When you stop worrying about what other people think, you become a threat because you have no one to control your actions. Take a look at the world's wealthiest and most influential individuals. Is it your belief that they achieved their current level of success by constantly monitoring public opinion? No. They ceased requesting authorization. They ceased to await authorization. They ceased to justify themselves. Their success was founded on secrecy, self-control, and unwavering faith in themselves. Well, where do you stand? Is getting others to believe in you still a priority for you? Do you continue to be hesitant due to concerns about the opinions of others? If so, you must decide right this second to liberate yourself, to stop hesitating, and to begin doing action. Because being great doesn't depend on someone else's approval. Nobody needs to tell you that you're successful. No one should ever question your aspirations. Unleash your full potential. Regarding that, no one else has any input. It is within your control. The real issue is, are you going to put it to use? Thirdly, reliability rather than inspiration. A falsehood is motivation. You can't rely on it, and it vanishes just when you need it most. If you depend on external rewards to motivate yourself, you'll put in more effort just when you're in the mood. Most individuals fail because of it. Ability, chance, or financial means are not distinguishing factors between the successful and the unsuccessful. Consistency is key. Keeping showing up day in and day out, despite negative emotions, difficulties, and lack of motivation. The majority of individuals do nothing until they are inspired to do something. Their mentality is one of, "I'll get to the gym when the mood strikes me," or "I'll start when I'm ready," when it comes to matters of the heart and soul. The reality, however, is that you won't always feel prepared. Inspiring feelings will ebb and flow. In the mornings, you may feel fatigued. Sometimes you'll question your abilities. There may be days when you feel like the world is conspiring against you. Those are the most important days, because when people are enthusiastic, they are able to work hard. Discipline is a state of mind, and everyone may achieve it. True achievers, nevertheless, turn up nonetheless. Many individuals fall short in this area. From the get-go, they're bursting with passion and energy. They tell themselves, "This time I'm going to really do it." And then they establish lofty objectives, make elaborate preparations, and accomplish them. However, an event does occur. Their drive wanes, the first euphoria fades, crust begins to form, problems arise. Results don't show up right away. Because they were counting on inspiration to get them through, they gave up. "I will begin again when I am more motivated," they assure themselves. And so it goes on. Success is dull. That much is certain. Performing spectacular deeds on a daily basis is not the point. Repetition of modest, controlled activities until they are automatic is the key. The key is to establish routines that propel you along regardless of your mood. Imagine athletes at the highest level. In your opinion, do you believe they skip practicing altogether till they're in the mood to work out? No. Regardless of their mood, they work out every single day. That is the difference between them and the amateurs. Achieving success is similar. There hasn't been a single monumental achievement. It's a matter of doing little things consistently, which build up in the long run. Getting up early, despite your want to sleep in, is what it means. Studying is doing it when you're not feeling it. Working long hours while no one is looking is what it means. Discipline is always more effective than incentive, so it's doing the right thing even when it's not fun. So, how exactly can one establish a pattern? Firstly, you need to quit putting up reasons. You can't keep telling yourself that you need inspiration before you do anything. Instead, you should discipline yourself to behave regardless of your emotions. It will become easier the more you practice. Being present becomes second nature after a while. It shapes your identity. Next, establish a framework. Hi there, Ted. Make a plan. Self-control isn't enough. Determination wanes, but a framework maintains direction. Establish regular work hours. Determine a strategy. Please establish due dates. Take out the unnecessary things and make sure you're in the right place to succeed. Get your workout attire ready the night before if you want to go to the gym first thing in the morning. Put your phone somewhere else if you want to concentrate more on your studies. Prepare to come out on top. Thirdly, monitor how far you've come. Improvements are made to what is measurable. Make use of a habit tracker, notebook, or checklist. You will be held responsible by seeing your record of continuous activity. Be sure to quickly resume your routine if you happen to skip a day. While an occasional slip-up won't destroy you, a pattern of poor decision-making will. Lastly, have a long-term vision. Quit expecting instant gratification. Give up hoping for quick results. Realize that the most fruitful outcomes are the result of persistent work over time, rather than impulsive actions. Those who persisted when they didn't see immediate results are the ones who ultimately achieved success. The procedure was trusted by them. Realizing that getting where you want to go takes time and effort, they continued to show up each day. Is being consistent something you're willing to commit to? Do you have what it takes to work hard while no one is watching? Do you have what it takes to keep going when it seems like nothing is changing? If that's the case, you've already achieved victory. Intelligence, skill, or luck have no place in this fight. It's all about sticking with it. Quitting is the only way out of this mess. Depend no longer on inspiration. Do not procrastinate any longer. Establish a pattern, and you'll achieve your goals. No, you shouldn't keep waiting for help. Always put yourself first. In order to take action, the majority of individuals spend a significant portion of their life waiting for others to believe in them, validate them, or provide them with support. But let me tell you the reality. Have faith in yourself. No one else has to. Support is not due to anyone. You will be trapped indefinitely if you persist in awaiting permission. Consider it. How many hopes and goals have been dashed because someone needed approval? Because others around them didn't get it? How many great ideas were never put into action? There are a lot of individuals in the world who could have accomplished a lot more if they hadn't waited for someone else to encourage them. Stay away from such individuals. The truth is that initially, most people will not back you. Not because they are antagonistic, but simply because they fail to get your big picture. In your head, your aspirations are real. Yet in their eyes, you're just another idealist. They will have doubts about you. Prepare to be interrogated. Not everyone is out to see you fail. Others just can't see themselves succeeding beyond their own narrow horizons. Because of this, you should not rely on them. Being your own greatest cheerleader is essential. You must have faith in yourself when others fail you. In the face of utter stillness, you must go on. Because being recognized isn't the key to success. You have to be willing to labor in the dark without praise, acknowledgement, or affirmation. Being persistent is key. Do you agree that it's annoying? You depend on the support of those closest to you, your friends, family, and acquaintances. Instead of seeing your potential and encouraging you to go on, they seem hesitant. Your objectives are demeaned. If you give in to the advice to be realistic, self-doubt will stifle your progress. Let me break it down for you. People tend to back things they can comprehend. Their lack of experience in your sector makes them doubt your abilities. If they are afraid of failing, it's because they have never risked anything in their own life. They may try to persuade you to lead a mundane life if they themselves have done so, not out of animosity against you, but simply because they are ignorant of the alternatives. Regrettably, they do not share your vision. Consider it yours. They have no business approving of your accomplishment. They aren't necessary for your quest. Those who are skeptical of you today will either end up supporting you or falling behind. But ultimately, the choice is yours. When no one is applauding your efforts, what should you do? You applaud just for yourself. As a person grows, they learn to depend on their own judgment rather than that of others. You fortify your faith in yourself to the point that it is impervious to criticism, uncertainty, or setbacks. Would be fantastic if assistance arrives. But if it doesn't happen, then it has no effect. Acknowledge that you may initially, if not permanently, have to travel this path alone. And it's okay. Even the most accomplished individuals have to start with nothing. Their own momentum was created by them. They acted immediately. The results were satisfactory. Never let the words, "you can't do it," deter you. Instead of allowing uncertainty to dampen your spirits, channel it into drive. Do all it takes to show that they were mistaken. Demonstrate that you can go forward without asking for permission. Instead of breaking you, let rejection make you stronger. Proven outcomes are the surest method to put naysayers to rest. Quit babbling. Quit giving explanations. Put an end to your efforts to persuade others to believe in you. Proceed without delay. People will take note the second you begin to improve in all areas of your life: physical, mental, and financial. The people who were skeptical of you will either vanish or start rallying around you out of nowhere. Remove yourself from situations where the people around you aren't encouraging you to progress. Keep your head clear of negativity. Talk to individuals who have been where you want to go. Study up on the subject and find a mentor. If you are always learning from those who came before you, you will never feel alone, no matter how long you have to stand alone. Ask yourself every day, would I still be doing this if no one ever cheered me on, believed in me, or supported me? Going in the correct direction is easy if you answered yes, because ultimately, you should be the one to benefit from your achievement, not them. The irony is this: wonders begin to unfold when you stop seeking affirmation, when you begin to take bold steps without uttering a word, and when you begin to demonstrate your worth by deeds rather than words. Attention is heightened. Your skeptics will now be the ones seeking your counsel. I always knew you could be said by the same people who claimed you couldn't. You will have learnt the most essential lesson by that point, however, so it won't matter. To start with, you were never in need of them, and therefore, the issue arises. Are you going to sit around and hope for help, or are you going to get yourself together right this second? Simply put, no one will be there to encourage you after the dust settles. Your dream does not have to be believed by anyone. To ensure your success, no one will put in more effort than you. That is the most fantastic news ever. Reason being, it eliminates the need to wait. It indicates that you are not required to get approval. It signifies that your destiny is entirely under your power. Put an end to seeking approval from other sources. Get off your behind and start making an impact. Get down to business. Put in the time, and eventually you'll be so excellent that everyone will notice. You will have created something unbreakable for yourself at that point, so you won't need their assistance. Fifthly, become an expert focuser. Stay focused and don't give up. It takes more than just a little bit of intelligence, ability, or chance to achieve success. Those who are able to concentrate intently, even while others are daydreaming or otherwise preoccupied, deserve it. There is no shortage of diversions in the modern world. Everything that distracts you from living your life to the fullest. Social media, incessant alerts, aimless scrolling, worthless gossip, and those who don't contribute anything worthwhile. Your attention will be directed towards something else if you don't manage it yourself. People often talk a good game about wanting to succeed, but their actions betray their words. They get up and start scrolling through their phone the second they open it, wasting hours on pointless amusement and preoccupied with little matters. Then they start to question why they can't move. Actually, potential is silently murdered by diversions. Your aspirations will not be obliterated in a single catastrophic blast. They work their magic gently, step by step, until you wake up and realize all those years were for nothing. Becoming an expert focuser is necessary if you want to stand out. You need to teach your brain to focus on the most crucial things while blocking out all the rest. This is challenging. Discipline, introspection, and steadfast dedication to one's objectives are necessary. Unstoppableness awaits you once you learn to concentrate. As others procrastinate, you're hard at work creating something. As they lose interest, you're making progress. As they observe, you carry out the task at hand. People make the greatest error when they think attention is a fixed quality. No, it is incorrect. Being able to concentrate is a talent. One may hone, improve, and fortify it. However, practice makes perfect. Concentration is a process that takes time, slowly but surely. With the formation of habitual actions brought forth by very little choices, it grows. Recognizing potential sources of distraction is an important first step in developing attention skills. The amount of time that individuals squander is usually underestimated. 5 minutes of mindless browsing on their phones doesn't seem like much to them. They think it's harmless to watch one more episode. You may compare time to money. Spending cash on meaningless stuff is inevitable if you don't keep track of it. Analyze your behaviors thoroughly. How often do you engage in pursuits that get you one step closer to your objectives? How much of your time is lost due to derailment-inducing diversions? No amount of self-deprecating humor will get you out of this jam. Get rid of those distractions after you found them. Eliminate the applications or establish hard time restrictions if social media is taking over your life. Make yourself a quiet place to work. If the world around you is too chaotic and negative for you to concentrate, put some distance between yourself and the folks who are a continual source of distraction. Staying focused is the key to success, not hoping. They have engineered their surroundings to keep them hyper-focused. Building deep work habits is another important stage. Shallow labor is what most people do. They flit from one activity to another and never give their whole attention to any one work at hand. deep, unbroken labor, nevertheless, yields substantial results. In other words, put down your phone, close your eyes, and focus only on what you're doing. Focusing over long periods of time is a skill that may be strengthened through practice. Athletes, CEOs, and entrepreneurs that consistently rank among the world's greatest don't exactly live the typical American life. Using every means at their disposal, they safeguard their time and energy. Focus is their strongest suit, and they won't squander it on meaningless pursuits. They aren't preoccupied with mindless scrolling, idle chatter, or fleeting gratification. They're unable to escape. People aren't doing anything productive when they're working. There are others who aren't paying attention, but they are. They succeed because of it. Concentration is your greatest advantage, and you need to start treating it as such. You are robbing yourself of an opportunity for a better future every time you give in to distraction. You set yourself back from achieving your goals every time you give attention to meaningless activities. Maintaining laser-like concentration is crucial if you want to achieve greatness. In fact, it is. The idea that we can multitask well is one of the most common deceptions we tell ourselves. We will take a brief look at our phones and then return to our tasks. However, it takes about 23 minutes to get one's bearings again after losing concentration, according to research. That implies you're reducing your capacity to perform at your best every time you glance at your phone, respond to an irrelevant message, or move between jobs. It takes more than simply working hard to achieve success. They give it their all. One task at a time occupies their whole focus. Reason being, they do more in a day than the average person accomplishes in a week. Prioritization is also essential for focus. Every job is different. Doing certain tasks will keep you occupied, while doing others will get you closer to your goals. A mastery of the distinction is required. Many people's days are filled with meaningless, menial duties that give them a false sense of accomplishment. Achievers concentrate in on what's important. What is the single most important thing I can do right now is the question they ask themselves. Next, they carry it out. Building a routine is another effective strategy for improving attention. Less space for distractions means a more organized day. Dedicate some periods of day to learning, resting, exercising, and serious work. Maintaining concentration is simpler as you get better at managing your time. The world will make a plan for you if you wake up without one. A life rife with interruptions, squandered opportunities, and dead ends. Being able to concentrate is about more than simply getting things done. It all comes down to your character. Refusing to get distracted is a great way to strengthen your mind. Focusing intently on a task at hand teaches your brain to respond effectively under duress. Mindfulness is more than a means to an end. It is an attitude, a philosophy. Your strength increases as you gain mastery. So consider this. Do you have command of your concentration, or does your environment dictate how you pay attention? Is your future being sunk by meaningless diversions, or are you making the most of your time? Simply said, it doesn't matter how bright or intelligent someone is if they don't succeed. Time spent focused effort wins out. Many creative and intelligent individuals in the world failed to achieve their full potential because they were too preoccupied with other things to work hard. Avoid becoming that person. Put an end to the chaos. Stop letting anything derail you. Now is the time to get things done. It's high time you started paying attention. Everything changes once you do it. You begin to get tangible results. Results begin to materialize. You begin to differentiate yourself from the others. Focus is something that the majority of individuals will never learn to do well. Most individuals will never be able to put their minds on anything and will spend their whole lives aimlessly wandering. Being one of them isn't necessary, however. You are capable of seizing the reins. You can focus, tune out distractions, and get things done. You should thus not waste any more time. Get down to business. Your life will change for the better if you concentrate and persist unwaveringly. Sixthly, get a lot done while keeping quiet. Give success the credit it deserves. People tend to speak excessively. They brag about their plans and aspirations rather than their accomplishments, and they seek praise for their intentions rather than their actions. They share details of their next endeavors in the hopes that someone would notice their talent and validate them. But let me tell you the reality. Success is not built by talking. Jobs do. Stop brazenly proclaiming your intentions if you really want to accomplish big things. Quit letting everyone know what you're planning to do. Put an end to seeking approval before you've even begun. Those who accomplish great things seldom brag about it. They are the ones who work quietly, put their heads down, and let their work speak for itself. Why? Because being noticed doesn't guarantee success. A lot of work goes into it. Far too many individuals squander their time and energy attempting to seem successful rather than achieving real success. Instead of getting things done, they waste a lot of time on social media complaining about their trip to people who don't care. All they ever done was speak. So when times go rough and their drive wanes, they are completely helpless. The way true champions do things is different. They keep silent. Their goal is not to be validated. They keep mum about how far along they are. They aren't the kind to feel pressured to prove themselves all the time. They demonstrate their worth to themselves. They are consistent in their attendance and work ethic, and the results speak for themselves. The rest of us are just making plans. They're really carrying them out. Consider the world's wealthiest and most accomplished individuals. Are you of the belief that they achieved greatness by constantly making headlines? No, they worked tirelessly behind closed doors to become outstanding. Years passed in quiet dedication as they honed their craft, gave their all, and pushed themselves to their limits beyond what anybody else would. It was obvious when they eventually succeeded. People didn't need to be convinced of their greatness. They accomplished it with their outcomes. You need that frame of mind. Ditch the need to be validated. Give up hoping that others will root for you. Give up on trying to figure out who is watching your development. If you want to succeed, you have to put in the time and effort when no one is looking, not in front of an audience, not on social media, not in discussions about future plans, but in those solitary times when you're working even if no one is looking. Working in quiet has many advantages, but removing distractions and stress is among the most important. Your aspirations will be met with anticipation if you share them with others. Feeling like a failure sets in if you don't act quickly. Not because you weren't successful, but because you've made yourself synonymous with a result that hasn't even materialized just yet. However, you may relieve yourself of that weight when you keep your objectives to yourself and concentrate only on doing the task. Every step you take is deliberate and unforced. Working alone has various benefits, one of which is that it helps you concentrate on the tasks at hand. Success, not image. Your priorities change when you're always looking for approval. You start caring more about how you seem to other people than about what's best for your own development. You let your emotions guide your decision-making rather than considering the big picture and anticipating people's reactions. Approval takes precedence over performance. Be careful not to fall into that pitfall. Seeking affirmation might lead to dependency. You can't keep going without losing control once you start depending on other people's approval. Nobody gives a hoot about your accomplishment until you tell them they do. They don't see beyond themselves, their issues, their ambitions, and the people who really care about them. To be honest, some of them aren't rooting for your failure. Although they seem to be on your side, their true motivation is to prevent you from achieving success. Because it would make them seem bad about themselves, they are against you breaking out from mediocrity. That's the power of working in quiet. You remain in command. With it, your energy is shielded. You may focus on building without being interrupted, without having unrealistic expectations placed on you, and without feeling the weight of outside pressure. When you achieve your goal, no one can deny it. This is without dispute. Since you really performed it, rather than only discussing it, nobody can question it. You are not obligated to keep anything under wraps. The moral of the story is that you shouldn't waste your time and effort on meaningless pursuits. Take action, not rhetoric, to demonstrate how seriously you take your aims. It is unnecessary for you to continuously state what you are doing. Documenting each and every stage of your trip is not necessary. Everything else is simply execution. And the time to show off your hard work is after you've accomplished what you set out to do. Many successful people have made "move in silence" their slogan, and there's a good reason for that. It's effective. That's why. You can maintain your concentration, your hunger, and your sense of agency with its help. It eliminates interruptions, which is crucial. Simply said, you're able to get more done when you're not preoccupied with justifying your actions. What are some ways that you might begin living your life with this mindset? To start, you need to quit looking for approval from other people. Pursue your passions without seeking validation from others. No need for plaudits, just get things done. You should just begin. Secondly, make it a habit to concentrate on results rather than opinions. Consider if your actions are propelling you ahead or driven by a need for acknowledgement on a daily basis. Forget about it if acknowledgement is the solution. Don't waste your time on that. Third, develop a work ethic independent of external incentives. Mood swings come and go. Discipline lasts a lifetime. You will never accomplish everything that you are capable of if you wait to put in effort until you are emotionally invested. The true champions don't skip a day, regardless of how they feel. And lastly, make your success obvious. Striving for success isn't enough. Aim for such enormous success that it will be impossible to overlook. That way, when the time comes to share your trip, it will be more than simply words on paper. Proof will be provided. Lastly, have faith in the procedure. You can't expect instant gratification. A lot of quiet, persistent work over a long period of time went into its construction. It takes getting up early and working hard when no one is looking to build it. It's crafted in those times when you keep going, despite the fact that no one is cheering you on or caring about your success. That is the dividing line between the successful and the unsuccessful. You don't have to validate the successful ones. They are well deserving of praise. Constant encouragement is unnecessary for them. Working quietly is how they've schooled themselves to succeed, since they know that in the end, their actions will speak louder than words. Consider if you are only expressing your desire for success or really working to get it. Do you want other people to think well of you, or are you trying to prove yourself? Is everyone keeping quiet, Or are you trying to get things done but failing miserably? Just because your good intentions won't amount to much in the grand scheme of things, what matters to them is your real accomplishments. And if you want to achieve big things, you have to put your head down, work hard, and then let your accomplishments speak for themselves. The seventh piece of advice is to give it your all, more so than everyone else. Your achievement is important to you, and no one else will ever take it seriously. Nobody can put as much pressure on you as you can. Give it your all. Some people may believe in you, your loved ones may cheer you on, and your friends and family may even back you up. But how far you go depends on your level of work, dedication, and self-control. People usually don't make it because they aren't good enough, don't know enough, or don't have the capacity to succeed. They fall short because they don't give it their all. When they start to feel uneasy, they stop. They give up when things become difficult. They want someone would make things easy, encourage them, and hold them responsible. Unfortunately, no one will be there to force you to achieve greatness. Dude, that's your mission. It isn't luck, but work that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The capacity to press on when faced with adversity. Being courageous means you're ready to face pain head-on, put your long-term goals ahead of your short-term gratification, and expect more of yourself than anybody else. To succeed in life, you must demand so much of yourself that others feel uneasy around you. When you put up that kind of effort, folks will wonder what gives. When it comes to most individuals, comfort is a drug. Achieving success is important to them, but so is getting some sleep. But they aren't interested in putting in the work necessary to achieve their fitness goals. They would want to amass fortune without enduring early mornings and late evenings of effort. That is precisely the reason they remain mediocre. Because they follow the lead of their comfort zone, they never achieve their goals. Becoming adept at enduring discomfort is a prerequisite to achieving success. When you stay in your comfort zone, you miss out on growth. During times of ease, strength is not developed. If you want to develop, progress, and become unstoppable, you have to challenge yourself more than you ever have before. Consider it. Do you know of any famous athlete, business magnate, or artist who achieved greatness by slacking off? No. Selflessness, pushing oneself to one's limitations, and perseverance in the face of adversity are the cornerstones of every great success story. You can't get to the top by slacking off. If you want to be exceptional, you have to work harder than everyone else. People often make the mistake of sitting on their hands and waiting for other people to motivate them. Someone else, a coach, a mentor, a supervisor, or even a partner, must be there to keep them responsible in their minds. However, if you rely on other people to motivate you, that person will inevitably leave your life, and you will never achieve your maximum potential if you let them. Eventually, you'll be the only one to deal with your own self-doubt, self-excuses, and self-sufficiency. Your capacity to exert yourself is all that stands between you and failure at that very moment. Discipline is necessary here. Working even when you're not in the mood is a kind of discipline. Discerning itself while no one is looking is the key. You know what it takes, so you put in the additional reps, hours, or miles. Mood swings come and go. There will be days when you feel powerless. On other days, you may not feel like getting out of bed at all. Consistency is key, but motivation alone won't get you there. You will never succeed at anything significant if you are inconsistent. For that reason, cultivating self-control is essential. Whether you like it or not, you must learn to be the kind of person who works. Establishing routines that push you to become better on bad days is essential. Nobody, not even the most accomplished among us, feels motivated first thing in the morning. They get out of bed and get the job done no matter how they feel. The typical person's thinking isn't conducive to high performance. Seeking the simplest solution is what most people are good at. They operate on a razor-thin budget. Looking for ways to cut corners is their game. They give up when the going gets difficult. But top achievers, they approach things in a different way. Even though it's not a need, they get up early because they know it will help them succeed. Not because it's enjoyable, but because they understand that stretching oneself to one's limitations is the path to personal development. They insist for excellence from themselves, not because they think anybody is looking, but because they are unwilling to accept anything less than the best. This kind of thinking is essential if you want to go to the next level. Do more than what is required. No more justifications. Put an end to procrastination. Raise your expectations of yourself. Aim so high that you're scared to death. You should challenge yourself to the point that others wonder whether you're still alive. If you work so hard, success will follow. You must educate yourself to perform at a greater level if you want to achieve greatness. Which is why it's important to form routines that push you to improve. It entails being responsible for your actions even when no one else is. Defying your fears entails going on in the face of adversity and achieving goals you never believed imaginable. Aggressive, well-defined objectives should be established initially. Expressing a desire to improve is insufficient. Give a clear definition of success. Do you have a certain income goal in mind? What weight are you aiming to lift? Is there a certain number of talents that you would want to acquire? The more specific your objectives are, the more driven you will be to achieve them. Developing a habit that pushes you to improve is the second stage. People who achieve great success don't just let things happen. Their days are well planned. They get out of bed motivated. Their schedule is designed to ensure that every minute is dedicated to making progress. A well-planned schedule may help you stay focused, get more done in less time, and hold yourself to your goals if you're serious about challenging yourself. Embrace pain as the third stage. Something is worth more if it is difficult to get. Doing something is likely not worthwhile if it's easy. Therefore, prepare yourself to lean toward adversity. Do not give up even when your thoughts beg you to. In spite of your exhaustion, keep going. You get stronger the more you push through the pain. Acquiring a fixation on betterment is the fourth stage. Seek for methods to improve yourself every single day. Find out more by reading. Strengthen your training regimen. Acquire knowledge more quickly. Continue pushing. Those who achieve the greatest levels of achievement in life avoid competition at all costs. They clash with the person they were the day before. You need that frame of mind. Success boils down to answering one question. Is your desire for it intense? If your desire isn't strong enough, you won't exert the necessary effort. The sacrifices will not be made by you. There must be more than what you're willing to do. Nothing can stop you if you want it more than anything else. More than comfort, more than sloth, or even more than the acceptance of others. So, be honest with yourself. Are you giving it your all? Is it true that you're making every effort to achieve your goals? Or are you patiently awaiting an encouragement from someone? Because this is the reality. The top ones are instant. Great people don't put up a fight. Greatness is never satisfied. Nobody would dare push themselves as hard as they do, which is why they come out on top. Do you intend to do this? The eighth place. Not a soul is paying attention. Do your best for yourself. The majority of individuals act as if everyone is staring at them all the time, as if their every action is being scrutinized, praised, or chastised. But let me tell you the reality. Not a soul is paying attention. Whether you achieve success or failure, no one is monitoring your progress. Your advancement is not keeping anybody up at night. Nobody seems to care about anybody else except themselves. You will be set free once you fully grasp this. Feel free to work quietly if that helps. No shackles restrain you. Not stifled by the possibility of shame when you try new things and fail. No one else gives a hoot about how far you've come except yourself. Because of this, you should put in the effort to succeed on your own. For review only. Submitted without seeking approval. For no apparent reason. The one and only for you. Because it is your life after all. The things you want to achieve. Congratulations on your achievement. Plus, no one else will be able to facilitate your success. When they feel someone is looking, most individuals step up their game. When there's a crowd, they appear. Upon receiving acknowledgement, when an incentive is present, however, they become lazy when no one is looking and when they don't get immediate feedback. They bypass certain steps. Their standards are lowered. That's what separates the typical person from the successful. The accomplished don't need a following. They are free to do what they choose. They can get along without anyone watching them. They put in the same amount of effort when nobody is looking as they would when everyone is. People often put off doing things because they are worried about other people's opinions. For fear of failing, they never launch a company. They are too timid to share their work for fear of backlash. They are too scared of what others may think of them to follow their aspirations. However, you must understand this. There are plenty who could care less. They can't see beyond their own fears, doubts, and difficulties. You have an inflated sense of how much they care about you. Consider it. You seem to have forgotten the last time you lost hours dwelling on the misery of another person. Likely, you have no recollection all. And you are not an exception. People will take a brief note of your public humiliation and then go on with their lives. So, why hesitate to act because you are afraid of what others may think of you? Why bother with meaningless views when you can focus on what really matters? Unstoppableness awaits you the moment you cease living for approval. You muster up the courage. You need to quit being cautious. When something stops helping you progress, you stop caring about it. Focusing on what's important is your forte. The development, self-control, and achievement that you achieve on your own. Silence allows you to focus on the task at hand without interruption. What other people believe has no effect on you anymore. No amount of praise will keep you going. Continuation does not need validation. Stick to discipline rather than seeking approbation. Mastering the art of working in silence is a skill that the world's top athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, and innovators have all mastered. They kept certain actions under wraps. They weren't looking for comfort all the time. The secret to their success was just putting in the time and effort, year after year. Picture two persons making progress toward an objective. In order to get support, one is always updating their progress on social media. The other works quietly, intent only on becoming better. Your prediction for the winner? The one who remained engrossed, unmoved by outside stimuli. The one who wouldn't have minded if an audience was present. A lot of folks are looking for quick satisfaction. They are looking for quick acknowledgement of their work. They are aiming for others to take note of their exertion. However, Being seen isn't a must for success. Being constant is the key. Being reliant on other people for inspiration is a major drawback of constantly seeking praise. Forget about getting anything done. You'll be too busy trying to win people over. Your best efforts will be for nothing the moment the cheers die down. Which is why a lot of individuals give up. From the start, they were never really dedicated. All they wanted was approval. Put an end to striving for approval and begin pursuing excellence if you want to create something really remarkable. Put your attention where it belongs, on your progress, not on who is observing you. Because acknowledgement isn't what matters most when it comes to achievement. Becoming your best self is the ultimate goal. Will you continue to labor when no one is looking, no one is applauding, and no one is making you answer for your actions? The true test lies in that. Is it possible for you to rise and shine before anybody notices if you decide to sleep in? Is it possible for you to work more hours while no one is watching? Are you able to maintain self-control when there is no clear benefit in the short term? That is the defining characteristic of successful people. People who consistently fail to meet their goals need ongoing support, encouragement, and oversight. The ones that come out on top always show up. You won't be pushed by anybody. Your self-confidence needs a boost. No one will put pressure on you to become better. That choice is yours to make daily. No one will be able to propel you to the top. If you want to work hard for yourself, you need to earn it. Establishing routines that hold you responsible is essential. Your objectives should be so strong that they will keep you moving ahead even when your enthusiasm wanes. Every morning, you must rise with an inner motivation, a goal to achieve. Maintaining a record of your accomplishments is one approach. Refuse to settle for anything less than the bar you set for yourself. Keep a journal detailing your daily accomplishments. Make sure you're paying attention. Admit it if you didn't go all out and try again tomorrow. Building a setting that demands your undivided attention is another option. Isolate the area. Set up visual cues that will remind you of your motivation. Maintain self-control even when no one is watching. Remember your motivation, since it is the most critical thing. There's no need to applaud your efforts. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. You should not settle for anything less than greatness. You have a responsibility to yourself to realize your full potential, and you are acting in this way because you know your capabilities. There is more than just talking that can establish your worth. It is by means of outcomes. People that are really powerful don't bother trying to persuade others of their value. Their deeds speak for themselves. Thus, you should cease seeking approval. Do not sit around hoping that someone would notice your hard work. Put forth your time and effort. Carry out your duties in silence. Carry out your tasks with secrecy. Keep going even when no one else does. And when you see the results, you won't have to utter a word. Your success will be obvious. It will be noticed. Their respect will be earned. You won't care at that point, since you will have realized you weren't doing it for them. It was everything for you. Not a soul is paying attention. There is no one looking out for you. No one is going to step in and help you out. Plus, that's fantastic news, since it implies you can skip the approval process. Nobody needs you to prove anything. No one else's approval is necessary for your success. The key to your success is within your own hands. Stop wasting time waiting for approval. Give up trying to get praise. Do not wait for someone to prod you. Be your own boss. Collaborate on your own construction. Make it big on your own. And the outcomes will speak for themselves. There will be no one to save you. No one can challenge you more than you can challenge yourself. No one else will give a hoot about your achievement except yourself. That shouldn't depress you, however. In fact, it should encourage you, since your future becomes completely controllable the second you accept that fact. You quit looking for approval. You quit trying to win people over. Your justifications need to end, and you begin to direct your life in a completely autonomous manner. The greatest benefit you could possibly have is the realization that no one owes you anything. This freedom from waiting for permission is priceless. Assistance will be provided without delay. Optimal circumstances are not necessary. The time to begin is now. Make this the one thing you remember from this. The key to your success lies with you. Nobody else, including your family, acquaintances, employer, or external factors. You are the shackle that binds you. All your justifications are chains. Distractions are a certain way to squander time. There is an opportunity lost for every second that you dally. You now understand that hardship is inherent to the path you're on, and that no one else will take responsibility for your problems. Real success comes from pushing yourself harder than anybody else would, and you've come to the realization that waiting for help is pointless. The keys to success, you've realized, are making incremental improvements every day, working tirelessly, and eliminating obstacles. Finally, you've realized that failure doesn't make you who you are. Rather, it shapes you. The important thing to ask is, how will you address this? Will you continue to sit around and hope that someone believes in you? Or will you take action and prove it? Is your commitment to stay focused on your objectives unwavering? Or are you going to allow distractions to sap your potential? Are you going to cower in fear and never go ahead? Or are you going to be the boss and do what you want? Just because your good intentions won't amount to much in the grand scheme of things, what matters to them is your real accomplishments. When no one is looking, the effort you put in is all that counts. The work you put in while no one is cheering. The self-control you keep even when inspiration fades. It's the defining characteristic of victors and those who give up. Thus, you should no longer wait, hope, or expect another person to prod you. Do something now. Make sure you're paying attention. Acquire the routines that guarantee your achievement. You may become unstoppable by training your mind to be strong, focused, and tough. Reason being, inspiration will be unnecessary when you do it. On your own, you can succeed. No validation is required. A much more potent weapon will be your independence. Everything will have been worthwhile in the end when you look back on your journey, see how far you've gone, and realize that you didn't give up because you kept going even when things were tough. Reason being, you didn't just envisage achieving achievement, you created it. Do something now. Awaiting you is your future.